Minneapolis holds its 9th annual Trans Equity Summit.
We talk about power in the realm of bringing really big money, capital to the table, and people.
Russia bans gay propaganda, and communist Cuba legalizes gay marriage. Thanks so much for joining us. You're watching the Equity Report. I'm Todd Michael Barnes. Homosexuality is illegal in Qatar, punishable by imprisonment or even death. Qatar finds itself and its human rights record at the center of controversy. But what about beyond the Mideast? How are queer and trans persons treated east, west, north, and south? So today, we ask, just how much do we know about how LGBTQ persons live across the globe? Coming up, the Pink Power panel weighs in on monkeypox and then discusses what they know about gay life in different parts of the world. And while the spotlight is on Qatar because they're hosting the World Cup, depending on where you are in the world makes a huge difference for queer and trans people. The laws that govern the different nations around the world impact the way we live and the way we love. In 2019, the country of Brunei enacted an Islamic law making it lawful to flog and stone gay people to death. And many other countries have the death penalty on the books for gays, including Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and Iran. All in all, there are 71 countries that make a range of queer and trans activities illegal. A couple of journalists, Lyric Ferguson and husband Asher, created the LGBTQ plus Danger Index, which ranks the most dangerous and safest countries for gay travelers. The journalists took the top 150 most visited countries in the world and ranked them using 8 factors, some of which included laws against gay relationships, adoption recognition, and worker protection. Nigeria topped the LGBTQ plus Danger Index, where you can land in prison for up to 14 years just for being gay. And some even have the death penalty under Sharia law. At the head of the list of the safest places to travel for gays is Sweden. The journalists who created the Danger Index point out 47 of the 70 countries, or 67%, that have illegal gay relationships are a part of the British Empire. The United States came in 24th out of 150 countries in terms of safety because of such reasons as having no constitutional protections or rights under federal law for gay people. Now here are the top 5 safest, the top 5 most dangerous places for gay people in the world. As always, when we want to get the pulse of the people, we meet the people where they're at. And that's why, for this episode, we went right down to the IDS Center in Nicollet Mall. Connor, where are you from?
South Minneapolis.
Great. Have you been vaccinated?
Yeah, I have. I got my booster a few days ago. It's good to get it so it doesn't spread around. But for a more personal example, last year at school, all of our teachers are 75% of our school, most of my classmates were gone, a good chunk of my teachers were gone, so we had to spend all day in the flex space. It really slowed down learning, and the quarantine itself really just slowed down everything. I don't really want to go through that again,
Have you heard of any of your friends getting monkeypox?
No, not yet. I haven't heard about anybody getting that, but I'm hoping it doesn't become big and we can prevent it before it becomes like COVID again or something more severe.
So in 71 countries in the world right now, same-sex relationships or activities are illegal. Do you think that the United States should be doing business with those countries where it's illegal, and why or why not?
I don't think so. I guess it kind of depends on how important the country is to the U.S. in relations, or how if we're helping out really well over there, maybe we can try to talk to them to see if we can fix that, or at least make it so everything's fair for everybody.
Great. Monty, where are you from?
Minneapolis, Minnesota here.
Monty, have you been vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccination?
Yep, so I got the first 2 shots, and then I haven't gotten the third one yet because it was back and forth between if we were going to get it, and I got COVID 2 months ago.
And if we ask you, do you encourage your friends to get the COVID-19 vaccine? Why or why not? What do you say?
Yeah, just because it works really well. The only reason I got COVID, and I barely was affected by it, I think it's really good, and it helps more people to do it if more people have gotten it.
You know, there's now, we're hearing about monkeypox. And are you hearing that with your friends or people getting the vaccination for monkeypox? What are you hearing about monkeypox?
Well, to be honest, the first time I heard about it, I thought it was a joke from Futurama. And then I heard a little bit on the news, and then it died down a little bit, kind of like those flying wasps in like Ohio or something. So I don't exactly know about it because I haven't really done any research on it either.
All right. And in 71 countries in the world right now, it's illegal that same-sex marriages or same-sex relation is illegal in those countries. Should the United States be doing business with those nations?
That's a very like mixed topic because I think no, but I do understand if you look at it from an economic standpoint, it could be places we've had long-time trades with. But I think like from a personal standpoint, no. Just I think you should align with your own qualities.
Have you been vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine?
Yeah.
And why is it important for you to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
Because I believe it's such a more safer way from not getting COVID, and you have like more possible chance to survive.
And how about you? Have you been vaccinated?
Yep, sure have.
And why is it important for you to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
Because it stops the spread and it saves lives.
And have you, either of you heard about monkeypox?
Yep.
And does monkeypox concern you at all?
Yeah, a whole lot, because it's something new and I never heard of, even in my generation. So, you know, yeah.
And what have you heard about monkeypox?
That's like really contagious. It's like the same thing as COVID, but way worser.
And the last thing I'm going to ask is, in 71 countries right now, it is illegal. Same-sex relations are illegal, or marriage, gay marriage is illegal in 71 countries. Do you think the United States should be doing business with countries where it's same-sex relations or marriage is illegal?
I think it's by choice, you know, and if it's going to benefit the whole human race, why not?
Like he said, I think it's by choice, and that's all I had to say.
And now, a big twirl around the world. The BBC is reporting that Russia has proposed a bill which expands the prohibition of sharing LGBTQ plus propaganda with children to now include adults. This proposed rule strengthens the current Russian law, passed in 2013, providing any type of LGBTQ information to children illegal. The law has now been extended to include Russian adults. Now, if convicted of spreading gay propaganda to children or now adults, Russians face very high fines for promoting non-traditional sexual relations. The proposal bans information about non-traditional lifestyles or the rejection of family values and is considered legally to be the same as pornography, the promotion of violence, or stoking racial, ethnic, and religious tensions. The Russian proposal also prohibits the propaganda of pedophilia, as well as information which might cause minors to desire to change their sex or gender. Cuba is the 9th country in Latin America, following Chile, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Colombia, to legalize same-sex marriage in recent years. Although Cuban elections, which only include the communists, is allowed, and they often see victory margins with votes of more than 90%, a third of the country, or 33.15%, voted no to allowing same-sex marriage, while 67% of Cubans voted yes. Health-related headlines begin right now. The city of Minneapolis recently held its 9th annual Trans Equity Summit, this year holding the event at Minneapolis Community and Technical College. ENN was at the event, providing COVID-19 vaccines and talking with leaders in the trans community about the theme of this year's event, power. While at the event, ENN got a chance to interview one of the presenters at the Trans Equity Summit, and here's what the panel moderator, Tomo Lucero, had to say. At the 9th annual Trans Equity Summit, Diamond Styles was the keynote speaker at the fireside chat, but the panel discussion was moderated by 28-year-old Twin Cities resident Tomo Lucero.
My name is Tomo Lucero. I am 28. and I just had the pleasure of moderating our discussion at the Trans Equity Summit for our keynote speaker.
For Lucero, attending the Trans Equity Summit means being able to bring their talents and skills to bear.
And yeah, I got to bring in a little bit of my own experience as a Twin Cities organizer and as someone who's been doing LGBT, civil rights, queer advocacy work for the last 7 years.
The summit has been held annually since 2014.
The summit is important for many reasons. This is the 9th year that we get to do the summit. So we, this morning, Council President Andrea Jenkins got to join us from the Minneapolis City Council, who shared her foundations, her beginnings of this organization, really starting out the summit and bringing the folks together to the table.
Designed to be a gathering that supports trans and gender nonconforming residents, this year's theme touched on some of the forward thinking and innovation happening in the trans community.
So the focus of the summit this year is building trans power. As a community organizer and as a political activist, we talk about power in the realm of bringing really big money, capital to the table, and people. And truly, when we talk about our community, our trans community, there's a lot of folks that are scared of us gaining power. And that means really advocating for our needs and advocating for each other. And people are scared of that voice becoming louder and bigger. And this is exactly why it's important for us to continue to have these spaces.
For Lucero and others, there was an opportunity at the summit to examine transgender disparities, but more importantly, recognize transgender power.
We are only as strong as our community. When we ask each other for support, when we ask each other for help, those are ways that we start overcoming the barriers that we face on a daily basis. And it's opportunities like this where we can come together, create the community, create the opportunity for us to actually see other people that look like us, that think like us, that are feeling and experiencing the same things that we are.
Pink Power panel member Joe Stansberry is away on assignment this episode. However, our Pink Power panel members Monsees Franco Sr. and Wendell Ward, or WOW, discussed monkeypox and how queer and trans persons live in different parts of the world.
Right. Overall, not a good scene for humanity, because if one of us suffers, essentially all of us suffers. And now to pause a little bit, to deny somebody's own expression of their true self, like that's a true crime in itself, because anybody who has to suffers in silence without being able to truly express who it is that they are and what is true to their nature. And so thinking about the crimes that are in place in those countries that you named, it's really a true crime against humanity when we factor in human rights. And I wish that was highlighted more so than these beliefs that come from, a lot of it comes from religion, and a lot of these places are based on religious beliefs and who is the dominant culture in that way. It is not true. Somebody made us all, and they made us as perfect as we are, as imperfect as we are. And I wish that that would be the overarching rainbow to bridge us all together. And unfortunately, it's not.
So, one of the things I saw that kind of like really grabs me was what happened with COVID with the trans sex workers in Mexico. And one thing that the government did do, they did set up a space where they had it just for them and they paid for everything for them. And that way they didn't have to be out there trying to do that during the COVID time, but they still have it going right now. That was something I saw that was probably I felt was positive for the trans community, especially for those sex workers. That's harder for them to get different type of jobs. That's one thing about this topic is that even we know that people are put to death in other countries. people are. I watched a story about I think it was like a locked up abroad, and a man was dating these different guys, and he didn't know that they wasn't supposed to be doing that. He was staying in an Airbnb. He found out from a neighbor, told him like you're not supposed to be doing that. And then one of the guys, they had like these street police. These guys would walk around and they would be looking to see if you're doing homosexual activities. And if they catch you, you're put to death. But he was an American there visiting, and he got locked up, but he got out. So that's how he was able to tell the story. But the thing is, it was there's places like that that if you are caught and it's found out, I mean, it happens everywhere. But if in some places, if you're found and you're caught, you could be put to death or put in jail, end up dying in jail. Um, it's some crazy things that's going on. But the thing about the other parts, like in Thailand, the lady boys, it's accepted in a lot of different places. And most people, when they think of Thailand, I had a friend get her reassignment surgery there, and you'd be surprised how many there are, but not. But it's so odd for a lot of the guys that come to visit because they're not sure.
Well, one of the things, Manses, that I found interesting was that so many of these countries, as a part of the punishment, had lashes as a part of the punishment, or getting 100 lashes or 50 lashes, or I see some of these are in Iran, you get 100 lashes for intercourse, but only 31 lashes, Manses, if it doesn't go all the way.
Okay, I don't want any lashes. I just want to be able to be me in my full form, as free as I am, as free as I was born to be. These are archaic laws. I mean, we might as well be saying that we are going to stone people to death. 100 lashes, 31 lashes. If it doesn't go all the way, that just sounds ridiculous. And we are physically injuring people for something that is natural to them. Not everybody is made the same way. Not everybody is heterosexual, and not everybody is homosexual. And there's so many different spectrums in between. And just because somebody is different doesn't deserve cruel and unusual punishment.
What are you hearing out there about monkeypox these days? Are folks getting the monkeypox vaccine? Are they taking this seriously? What's going on that you're hearing?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had not seen anyone with monkeypox, not in my eyesight or in my personal family, nobody. But I did know, like in the beginning, it was like spreading around during Pride, and I've seen it on some TikTok. And this guy was like trying to just get vaccinated, get the flu shot or whatever. And he's like, can I get the monkeypox one too? And he was like, no. He did like this. He's like, okay, go to the back so you can get your shot. But it was like, because they were saying, it was related to us. So I was like, no. But other than that, no. Most people I know right now just getting like their flu shots and boosters.
You got to send me that video link where he did like this to get the monkeypox.
It was funny.
I'm trying to see it.
I'm find it.
So you're not seeing a lot of people get the vaccine? Is that what you're saying?
For me, no. I haven't seen nobody get the monkeypox vaccine so far. So far, it's just been the COVID update, COVID boosters, and the flu shots right now. I haven't been seeing anyone go in for the monkeypox vaccine.
Okay. A lot of people I know are getting the monkeypox vaccine, just because it's important to say this: monkeypox is not a gay disease. It's not a gay virus. Anybody is capable of contracting monkeypox virus. The majority of people who first reported in the U.S. did identify as men who have sex with men, and so that's also important to say as well. I personally am vaccinated twice for monkeypox because I think it's important to protect my own health. When I consider things that are going around, I do appreciate that they offered it to the people who were a majority at risk, the vaccine initially, because I think that controlled how
Spread.
much grander of an outbreak that it could be. And so when that became available to me, I decided for my health that that was going to be something that I was going to take part of when I got an opportunity to. And so I am vaccinated for monkeypox.
And how about Manses, the COVID-19 vaccine and booster shots? What are you seeing or hearing on the ground and in the circles that you are a part with people who are keeping up with these boosters or who are getting the original vaccine in the first place?
I'm seeing a lot of people get it.
Yeah, what I'm seeing around me, what I'm seeing through the numbers, and we can pull up numbers at some point, but there is still a disparity when it comes to Black, Brown, and Indigenous people who are getting the following through with all of the vaccines that are recommended. And so I'm not sure what that's about, but I know that that exists. What I'm personally seeing is that people are kind of over the vaccines. You know, they're like, I already got 3 or, 4. I don't want to get any more. And so that is what I am personally seeing.
For me, at a pace where I'm at in St. Paul, being in the area that I'm in Frogtown, from what I've seen, everybody's doing what they need to do in essence. You forget what I'm saying? But some people are still like us, like Bebe from back, we'll talk way back, that don't want to do it and they not gonna do it, and we can't make her do it. So we still those out there, but most that are concerned about their health or their immune systems are going and getting it.
Today we talked about how queer and trans persons live in different parts of the world. We talked about monkeypox and getting the COVID-19 vaccine. But what we really talked about, just the same as every week, what we really discussed were the issues of self-worth, living with joyful love. Well, remember, LGBTQ persons and our allies, you are not alone. You can find us 24/7 at our website, www.equitynewsnetwork.com. Find us on our YouTube channel at Equity News Network. And don't forget to smash that like button. And remember to hit subscribe. Until our next episode. And until we meet again, it's my hope we dish up some respect and lean in toward love for all of us at ENN. Todd Barnes reporting.